Happy May. Hello. We might be a little low energy because, well, you've had one other cup of coffee, right?
Yes, always.
Okay, well, I'm on my first, so we're not fully awake yet, but we wanted to film our update for you and tell you about what's been happening this month in Latvia. What's been happening?
Spring has been happening, as you could assume.
Yeah,
which,
sort of.
You know, unlike Oregon and some other parts of the U.S., the weather becomes unstable. So we'll have days like this where it's nice and great and like plus 12, which is going to be like, I don't know, high 50s, low 60s. But then days where it's like 6, which is like, I don't know, 40 something and raining. So we never know what to expect right now.
Except allergies.
Sometimes allergies.
Got those.
But we never know what to expect, kind of just like with our youth, because last month attendance was kind of shaky. Now it's kind of leveling off a bit. So we don't know if that's, because it's the end of the semester for our students, or if it's because maybe the situation in Ukraine has become more just a reality, and so we're getting used to it, or we're not sure. But we're thankful that more youth have been showing up and that we've seen more. We had one of our youth over on Saturday for dinner. We hadn't seen her in 3 weeks, a month, I don't know. So it was good to see her. Another one of our youth is sick. He doesn't think he has COVID, but we're not sure. So he's sick. Another youth ran the marathon. Everyone calls it the marathon, even if you just run the 5K or the 10K. But she ran the 10K, so cool. And another youth soon will be
graduating. We're having our first graduation ceremony on May 26th, which is our last day of kind of programming for the spring semester. And we're gonna have our first graduate. People have always asked us since the Lighthouse started, well, what happens when they're done with you? And we haven't really been able to say yet. We've had a theory that, hopefully they would want to stay involved as mentors, volunteers. And I think that is the case with the one that we're graduating. She's really excited about our mission. She's really working hard. She's excited to, take this formal step of graduating from our program and starting to help others. And we're really proud of her and really excited. So that'll be a great time on the 26th. We're gonna celebrate her, and we're gonna celebrate our students who are finishing up their academic year. We don't have anyone graduating from school this year, but it's still a big accomplishment to finish an academic year at trade school or university. So we're looking forward to having a party and ending our spring schedule.
Yeah. We also had a baby, a collective Lighthouse baby last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Time isn't real. Is her name.
Well, we're not going to say her name.
She has a name. But yeah, the baby and the mom and the baby's older sister are doing great. Looking for new housing at the moment because the emergency housing they've been in for the last 6 months?
No.
Since October?
Whoa. Time isn't real.
Time is not real. Is going to be, and probably already is, very much cramped. So we're helping her in finding new housing and sort through all the government support that is there and available for her.
I'm also working on recording our podcast. We've got 4 episodes down in the bag and even edited. So that means we have 6 more to go, and we're scheduling 3 or so guests to be on the podcast, and we'll record them on the 26th, and we're on track to start releasing episodes in July as we planned. So excited about the podcast. So stay tuned, and I'll have information about the podcast down below in case you missed the last update, but we did talk about it there as well. Also, this past month we went to prayer days, and we've talked a lot about that on social media, so maybe you saw. Aaron, do you want to explain what prayer days is?
So prayer days is a meeting over the course of a few days where people pray. So what's the next topic? No, so Prayer Days has been an initiative of BBI, Bridge Builders International, for several years. I don't even know, going back years and years. And in the last few years, they've kind of turned it into a Prayer Days focusing on ministries and organizations that work with people who hurt. And so there are Celebrate Recovery groups, there are Salvation Army locations,
Prison chaplains.
So all kinds of ministries that run the gamut. And so we went this year, and it was in Berenghi, and they have a little palace castle kind of thing, and it's apparently really popular. And there's a story that they've got this kind of archway thing right on this lake, and even if you're born in Latvia and you live your entire life in Latvia, you're not really Latvian unless you go to this palace and take a picture at this archway. And so we took a staff photo, so we are officially Latvian.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really good. We were only there for
A day.
for one day. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but because we had class on Thursday night and Saturday was mostly just breakfast and then kind of wrapping up, we just went on Friday, but the whole day, very long day. But it was great to see some old friends, hear about some new ministries that are happening in the Baltics, and get to tell kind of our story and what the Lord's been doing with us and our youth. So it was really cool.
I had a fight with a witch.
What?
I'm not going to tell that whole story.
But legit, I mean, not a fist fight.
I really did have a fight with a former witch.
Thankfully, she knows Jesus now, but
You never know what's going to happen, guys.
Telling you, Prayer Days.
Other than that, we moved into our new place since we last talked to you. Fully moved in, and pretty settled, pretty happy.
We've still got to put art on the walls, but I cannot find where the studs are. So it's concerning to me, because I don't know what kind of construction the house is. So I don't want to go, hammering nails or drilling holes in all over the place. So
just go for it.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
That was my list. That's everything we've been up to since we last saw you.
What have I been doing?
Oh, what have you been doing?
Same thing as always. Okay, bye. So yeah, I've been working on, trying to get our youth engaged, trying to get our volunteers engaged, trying to connect them with each other, starting to reach out to some of the organizations and ministries we met at Prayer Days to talk about, new partnerships, and still connecting with other ministries and organizations that we know. As we're winding down our spring program, we'll be shifting into our summer program, which will be a little more loose and much more connection based, and so we'll have just more fun events. We won't have regular classes nightly like we have now. So planning beach days and movie nights and park days and just other fun stuff that'll get our youth kind of out of their comfort zone a little bit, but still connected, and nothing too scary, but just scary enough. And then also planning for the fall program, because we've had typically the same life skills classes, so we're trying to think of what other skills our youth need. Financial management will most likely be one of them, but then what else? And so we'll be planning that over the summer, writing curriculum, doing all of that. I'll probably be reading maybe some books. Pray for me. Books are hard. And yeah, that's what's going on.
Thanks for sharing what you're up to.
And speaking of summer, camps. English camp. Ota. So we had a planning session out at Erkley, out at the campground. And actually, this is the first time I had been to this particular planning session. It seems like they've had 4 already or something, but it was actually planning out each day of camp. What do we want to do from this time to this time? What do we want to do this time to this time? In all of our time at camp, I kind of just thought it was thrown together maybe the day before. But no, they actually thoughtfully, prayerfully consider what we should do for each camp, because everything is going to be slightly different. So yeah, we're excited to go back to camp for the few that we'll be there for, especially English camp, and seeing our friends from Oregon. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. We're super excited, if you can't tell. So that's what we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for thinking of us, for caring,
for supporting,
for talking, for all the things.
Look out for a newsletter first of the month, and we'll see you here in June.
In the digital space.
The newsletter is also digital.
No, we actually send out a newsletter.
No, we
The
don't.
newsletter department will send out a newsletter to you
Via email.
on paper.
Bye.
Bye.